Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about prime rib chart. Show you how to fill it out correctly. There were two prime rib charts that went out last week. This was one earlier in the week, fairly simple. Second one came out later in the week, a little bit more complicated, and I thought maybe it had too much information on it. So let's use this one. Now this has every day of the week, so we save this file as a week ending file. I'll get into that in a second. But just to go through, the master's just a blank for you, and then we've got the 7 days of the week. We're going to fill out the example portion. Now this was done at Caro's store number 150, so we're going to write 150 right here. It was done on Thursday, and that was October 13th. The prep that day was our cell. The reason we want to know that is sometimes the prep fires the prime rib, sometimes the manager does. Now we have the time that it goes in. Generally that's around 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to do 11 a.m. And then the time out in this case was um, I believe that was around 4 p.m. Alright, that time it was 86. We only had a half of a prime rib this day, so we ran out a little bit early. It was about 6:30, so we're going to write 6:30. That's going to let the general manager know we've got to fire more next time. Now these weights we're going to enter in ounces, so when we get the prime rib in, we're writing with a permanent marker on the package how many ounces the prime rib is. Everything's done in ounces, so in this case we had 134 ounces. Like I said, it was a partial. Now after we drain it, take the packaging off, it was 131 ounces. When we pull it from the Alta sham at 4 o'clock, we weigh it one last time before it goes on the line. In this case, it was 120.8 ounces. And like I said, we ran out that day, so we put 0 at the end. All this drops down to the bottom. It totals it up. So if you have a second or a third prime rib that you fire that day, you enter that same information. It'll total everything for you right here. And we used 120.8 ounces. Okay. Now, to enter how many we sold, we go to Tracks, Menu Analysis. Of course, this was store number 150. And the date was the 13th. The categories were dinner entrees, dinner promos. Okay. Now we come up with our results. Zoom in a little bit so we can see this. As you can see, we sold 10 prime ribs that day. Now this figure came actually from the promos. We sold 5 2 for 20s, and it multiplies it for us and plugs it in here so it can be calculated. We sold 10 prime ribs there, 8-ounce prime ribs, and then we sold 2 more down here. Probably people didn't have anybody to share it with. Of course, if we were thinking, we would try to sell these individuals the 2 for 20, and they can take the other rib home for dinner or take it home to their sweetheart. So 2 plus 10 is 12, so we're going to plug that in right there. The 12-ounce cuts, let's go back and see what we have there. Yes, we did sell 2 12-ounce cuts of prime rib. We're going to plug that in right there. Now notice I can't click on these other ones. Why? Because those are protected, so we don't mess up the formulas. We also can't mess up this one. Okay, so now this reported down here, 120 sold. We used 120.8. We were over, in other words, this is a waste figure right here. We were over 8/10 of an ounce, or an average of 1/10 of an ounce per cut. Actually a lot less, but what a fantastic day this was in accuracy. You can't ask for much more than this. We also want to monitor the times and the cooks. In this case, we had Jorge working with Raymond. All right, this is all the examples. This is all the information you're going to need on a daily basis. Now what we do is we need to, if this is your first day, we're going to save this to our directory. It's a save as. Okay, so we find our handy dandy place, prime rib yield, CW150, and this is week ending 10/19, and we save it. Now we open the same one up for each individual day of the week, turn in the whole week to your regional manager. Hey, if you have any questions, make sure you call. Thanks for listening. Bye.